Good evening, citizens of the multiverse, and welcome to yet another exciting event live from the Modras Bloodsport Association. Tonight, something a little different as we are outside of the conventions of the Modras Bloodsport Arena and find ourselves somewhere quite different, but more on that later. You may have noticed that Razor McGirth is absent tonight. He is tending to his ailing mother, who I believe has contracted some kind of wasting disease. We'll have to get more on that as the news breaks. I am joined instead by Stubby McClap. Say hello, Stubby.
Hey there, how y'all doing? And don't you worry, Stubby McClap's gonna take care of everything. Hell, I might be even a permanent fix here for that old, what'd you call him, a host? He ain't really much of one.
Well, that's certainly something that you'll possibly have to address in the arena, pending his return. Instead, as I say, we are venturing out into the wilds of the untamed, unknown outer space. The crew of some kind of spacefaring vessel have joined us in the Modras Bloodsport Arena tonight. Well, not in the arena, as I say, we are in the outside of space, and it looks like I'm being asked to play for time. Clancy, of course, is always on duty, unfortunately, and we can expect such delays as we proceed throughout the evening. Unfortunately, it looks like things are now shaping up to be okay. Stubby McClap, are we ready to go to the, well, not the arena side, I guess, the asteroid belt, or floating debris in which our contestants find themselves tonight for some interviews? Starting up first, I believe. Oops, sorry, no, Stubby, you go.
I'll just say, well, shit, I'm ready, Flex. I don't know about you. I mean, I've been born ready. I'm a spacefaring son of a bitch. You ain't tell.
Absolutely you are, and I can certainly tell that you have the smell of space about you. And we'll go down now to the arena side, introducing the first competitor this evening. Ava, tell us a little bit about yourself, your class, and what it is you do for a living.
My name is Ava Elkin. I'm pretty much a security guard on the Eclipse. Fairly new to space, not particularly new to ass kicking. I am a human. As you can see, I'm a monk. I am part of the Order of the Chrysalis, which is a mystical brotherhood that focuses on the difference between life and death and the border. And, you know, like a butterfly, it's a beautiful transformation.
Absolutely. And transformations are something that we'd always look forward to inside the arena. I remember fondly some Christmas transformations. And up next, we have another competitor with strange tentacular face. Dr. Shepard, I believe.
Yes, that's correct.
Well, Dr. Shepard, how about you introduce yourself?
It is tentacles. Yes, it's illithid. I am a cleric by class, medic by trade, both physical, mental. I keep the crew alive on the Gary.
Well, let's see if you can keep your crew alive tonight. Modras, of course, has a storied history with illithids, but we will not be holding that against you. You are a man of peace and clearly a medic of some description. So welcome to the arena. And here's hoping you have plenty to patch up tonight. What is it we can look forward to, Stubby?
Well, I'm going to tell you what, we pulled out all the stops for this one, Flex. I went to the furthest reaches of space to make sure I can only get out the most dastardly of intergalactic villains so we can take down these here heroes, as they call themselves.
I do like a good dastard.
Indeed, indeed. I don't really like cussing much, so I don't use the B word, but I'll dastardly all day.
Absolutely. And with the dastardly aplomb, I suppose we'll turn to what we normally do at the beginning of proceedings and roll the initiatives.
Yeah, Clancy's having just another little camera.
Clancy's having a little fiddle.
Fixing some cameras.
The hell are you doing, Clancy? I heard about this feller. Are you guys gonna replace him or what?
Well, sadly, nepotism is very much alive and well within the Modras Bloodsport Association, and
I mean, I got a cousin. He'll work for basically anything. I pay him.
This is basically exactly how Clancy started working here in the first place. I'm not sure we need a Cletus.
Cletus? Why not? He's a pretty good fella.
Well, in future, if we run out of Clancy's, perhaps we can bring in Cletus. But for now, how are things looking, Clancy? All good?
Yeah, Clancy says everything's all good. He gives you a thumbs up.
Clancy.
Well,
Good
with that,
plans.
we can start tracking some initiatives. It looks like we've got a whopping 4 from Dr. Shepard. And an 11 from Ava.
So the 4 was actually Rodney the coffee machine. The 13.
Rodney the coffee machine. My mistake.
Yes.
So for the benefit of our viewers, we're being joined by Rodney the coffee machine on the part of Dr. Shepard.
We are
Looks
also
like-
being joined by my friend Apricot, who is a ferret.
Apricot the ferret.
And she rolled a
Ferret.
9.
All of whom require initiative rolls, which I am tracking now. Okay. Then we have...
Looks like our Oth feller here with the weird space tentacles. Looks like he's the fastest one of the bunch with a nice 18.
Oh,
certainly
dang, really?
does. Awful
He's got
close.
himself 2 little slime warriors, like to call them some snoozes. They looking at 17, so these some quick sons of bitches.
They certainly are, Stubby. Unlike yourself, of course. Famously slow except to the buffet.
I got that one finally. I picked up on it. You always trying to scoot them by me, aren't you?
Well, it's the nature of the beast. We have something of a back and forth in the commentary booth while the life or death situation is resolved below.
Well, you're gonna have to excuse me. I'm only used to doing Little League, but I'm a big fan. And if Clancy can do it, shit.
If Clancy can do it, then you certainly can with great aplomb. So up first we have the Oth. It's Tentacular Spectacular.
All right, well, let's get down there in the field and see if these things can actually bring in some sort of fight, or if they're just gonna add to the long list of losses y'all have here at the home field of the Modras Bloodsport Association. I got it down on that ESPN 3, so I ain't missed an episode in years.
Well, you have noticed the failing of our track record there to kill off any contestant so far. I'm not sure what that is. I suspect somebody somewhere has a tender heart.
Oh, well, we'll kill these ones off. It's not like they're pre-created characters for some sort of show or podcast or something.
That would be quite mad. No, of course they're not. They're legitimate competitors.
Oh, it looks like something's happening down there. And you'll see this creature in the back, which looks like essentially this like large circle of it's like an oily kind of ooze will form on top of this floating piece of rock, and out of it will rise this figure. It's about 9 feet tall. It looks like kind of like green plasma and goo, and then these 4 tendrils start kind of like growing out of it and wiggling around. The inside will open up, and there's just this glowing red light that kind of looks like a fire, and you will just hear a voice. Who has disturbed my slumber for this?
Seems like they should have let sleeping Oths lie.
Yeah, I guess we probably should have asked them before we just kind of kidnapped them, threw them in here, but it's all right. I mean, they seem like some nice fellers.
They certainly seem nice enough and up for a challenge. Not happy at being awoken.
And then 2 more of these kind of black inky spheres, or not spheres, but like puddles appear on the ground, and 2 more things will grow out of them. They seem to be made of that same kind of weird plasmatic gelatinous substance, but they are not nearly as dark green. They're actually like a light aqua blue, and then you'll actually see like these swords and shields materialize in their hands, and at that same time 2 more arms grow on each of them. So it seems that all 3 of these entities have 4 upper appendages, and the one in the back will go, "Slay them," and he's going to point his tendril forward, and you'll see a red kind of beam start to like Frieza's death beam in Dragon Ball Z, and then and it's going to shoot across the field towards Ava.
Oof.
It is casting Firebolt.
Let's see just how accurate that is.
17.
17.
It'll hit.
Oh, devastating accuracy from the Oth. Let's see how hard that hit.
And you get immediately hit for 11 fire damage as this firebolt goes flying across the battlefield and just.
Goodness gracious, great bolts of fire. That looks like it's
Finish her
stunned.
off. You'll hear the deep voice go, finish her off. And then the two things in the front will dash. You see them get to the edge, and they just leap across this like 20-foot pit with like literally zero issue. They just go flying across it. You're in a very, very low gravity area, so they like launch like 10 feet into the air and then slowly come down. And they're both kind of wielding these swords threateningly at the 4 crew members. And that will now move on to whoever's next.
It is Dr. Shepard.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like we're having something of a tentacle face-off.
Oof. Wait, why the hell's he got weird tentacle things on his face?
That's just the way he is.
They let
I guess,
octopi in the doctor school?
well, I'm not entirely sure about that. I never studied illithid biology. I was mainly concentrating my violent tendencies in the arena during the war.
Hey, you, tentacle
nevertheless-
face. What are you doctor of anyhow?
Everything. And Dr. Shepard is going to pull out what looks like a scanner. And this one that's, I guess it's slightly closest. Sorry, I don't have my circle thing on.
That one.
Going to, yeah, that one right there with the big arrow pointed
The
at it.
uppermost Suze is being targeted with some kind of scanner.
And I am going to initiate a scan on this. I don't even know what to call it, but it will generally be, wow, a very bad scan. That's going to be an 8 to hit for guiding bolt. As I'm hitting the bottom of it, trying to get it. It's just not the image.
I'm afraid that scan has failed to hit
Um,
its target. I guess you can scan the ground in front of the Suze real good.
yeah.
It's mainly rocks.
Yeah, that guiding bolt just goes flying right between the two of them, and you actually see them like kind of split in like an osmosis sort of way to like dodge it and then just come back together.
Ooh, I'm getting worried. That's, yep, that's all I can do.
Well,
I'm
very
staying
well.
back here. Actually, I'm going to take a step behind Rodney, the coffee machine.
Wouldn't be the first time you've been saved by caffeine, I'm sure. Up next, Ava.
All right, I'm going to, let's see, this is what, 72 feet, so I think I will move, over, I'll move myself, I'll move, I do not appear to be able to move myself, but if I could, I would move about 2 or 3 squares to my left. And
Let's see if I can do that for you. No, that's moving the entire map. Clancy,
Clancy.
Clancy.
shifting space and time once again.
Man, you guys weren't kidding. Clancy's a little shit, ain't he?
Clancy sucks.
I mean, I read the show notes, but I didn't expect all this.
There we go. Clancy is, or you should now be able to move. Says
Thank you, Clancy. All right, I'm going to move to here, and then I'm going to, let's see here. That's nice. Okay, I'm going to move to there, and then I'm going to throw a dart at the one that is on top. It's going to be nice.
Oh
24.
my goodness, a 24 will be sufficient.
All right, let's roll damage.
Hope it does like 400 damage.
Yeah, no, just 7. Just 7, and then as a, let me see here. All right, and then I believe that's my turn. That's my turn.
Beautiful. Well, the uppermost Sue seems to have taken the impact of that dart straight through and removed some of the globular substance that makes up its form. Ouch! Up next, it's the adorable Apricot.
All right, Apricot is not quite as fast as Ava, but she's gonna move about as much as she can. To about... Oh, if she could move, she would move.
Oh, yes, Clancy, come on, Clancy.
Clancy, can I please move my own ferret, Clancy?
Yes.
Oh, here we go. Excellent. She's going to move about here and just kind of hiss at the globular guys menacingly.
The Suzes. I believe they're called. Suze, yes.
She's going to hiss at the Suzes.
Sue Studio. Whoa, whoa. As I believe Phil Collins sang. Up next is Rudders, if that's all we've got from Apricot.
Rodney is, for the viewers at home, one of those expensive espresso machines with just way too many gadgets that you would never ever need. However, one gadget that he does indeed need is right now he has got steam-powered jets, and he is going to use his dash. And he's got 40 foot of speed, which is pretty fast for a Keurig. And he's going to cash in on all of that to... Oh, but does he want to get right up in there? Yeah. I guess we could always buy another Rodney, but you can't buy another Apricot or Ava or Dr. Shepard. Don't tell info. I refer to Rodney as something we could just buy another one of. But that's what he's going to do for his action. He's going to use dash and fly with his steam-powered jets over the gap and get to these two assholes.
Never before have I seen a more majestic approach to two assholes. Back up to the top of the initiative.
One way to put it.
That's the only way I can see fit. Back up to the top of the initiative order. It's the Oth, the sinister Oth.
All right, let's see what he's going to do about it. And you would see the Oth in the back, which once again is like 9 feet tall. It starts like growing, like it starts getting taller and taller, and its other tendrils start to get a little bit longer and longer, and it seems to be like growing even more intimidating in size. And then it'll just start kind of sliding forward as that like inky black puddly goo substance that it came from is kind of just leaking behind it like some sort of weird slug, and it's just going to slowly move just to the edge here, and it's going to kind of just glare down at this coffee maker that's attacking that's trying to fight it with its two minions. And the Oth is going to lift one of its tentacles, which then extends rapidly across, moving the entire 30 feet, attempting to strike poor little Rodney where he stands.
Oh my goodness, a 30-foot strike with a stretchy limb. Haven't seen movements like that since the stretchy limb battle of Ot 6. And my goodness, that's a critical hit.
I'm going to lose our coffee maker.
I hope you don't like coffee.
Well, Dr. Shepard doesn't, but...
Actually, so with the crit,
I don't think anybody drinks Rodney's coffee except for...
12 total damage.
We pretend to make him feel better, but...
Oh. So this thing goes... And then, so it should have the same amount of HP you have.
Yeah. Which is not a lot anymore.
Oh shit, look at it. Looks like he's going for a little bit of coffee.
He's got a big
and the tendril's going to go and grab it by the handle and slam it on the ground.
Looks like that Oth rolled a venti, and it's taking it out on Rodney. Wow. A devastating assault.
Then as it moves to the Suze, this Suze seems to think that it has... that its boss is going to go ahead and take care of the coffee maker. So it's going to disengage and then use its movement to go all the way over here. And it's just like starts making a weird, like, intelligible like gurgling sound, like, and it starts banging its like sword, which is materialized and made of the same material it is, on its shield, which is also made of the same material it is, in like a threatening, menacing manner to the other 3 Eclipse crew members who are keeping their distance. The other Sues, however, is going to go ahead and attempt to finish off this little coffee maker.
Stubby, those Suses sound like me before I had my vocal cords replaced by that of a professional announcer.
Well, hell, we can't all just buy ourselves success.
No, I had my original vocal
23 to
cords
hit.
removed in the arena with a 23. A whopping 19 rolled. Goodness me.
Brutal.
I guess Suses don't like coffee.
5 damage. So this other Suze is going to take that sword and just bang Rodney right on top of the head with it.
Well,
Oh shit, well I guess he must be more of a Starbucks kind of feller, because he does not like that Keurig machine.
Terrible for the environment, those little pods anyway. I think we should probably encourage the destruction. Up next, it's Dr. Shepard.
Oh, it sure is. Jeez. We're getting our asses handed to us. The one closest to us. This is one time where Dr. Shepard, being a cleric, does worship Saloon, but it's kind of a shaky relationship. But this is one thing that if I need to do this, I need to call on Saloon to do this for me. And that is going to be Dr. Shepard looking around and praying to the heavens after seeing this abysmal performance so far. I'm going to be casting a moonbeam on the closest jelly man. So they will need to make a con saving throw as I just beg Saloon, please. I'm sorry. Help.
Looks like he's sailing away.
Help. Let's see if they will take any damage on a save. It's only a 12 saving throw, which seems pretty low. I'm not sure why I guess I am only level 3, aren't I? So I don't know if Jeremy or Gerundu is rolling the saving throws.
I think it would be Stubby, as he has the relevant information provided by Clancy in front of him. But bear with me
Wait,
a second.
is this the part where I'm supposed to sing? That's what Clancy put in here. Whenever they make an attack, I have to sing. I don't know how that works.
If you feel like
Is that
singing,
no,
by
I
all
don't
means.
want to. I just know if I can trust anything on this damn piece of paper.
I kind of feel like
now.
now that you've said it, you should.
I mean, maybe, but I don't want to. Look, you guys are going to be saying I'm on the wrong show here if I'm singing. I mean, I'm a superstar.
Do we have that?
My daddy was Garth Brooks.
Wait, what year is this?
Will that not be Darth Brooks?
Yeah, y'all know country music ain't limited to the constraints of time and space.
I've only ever heard of Chris Gaines.
What?
Jeremy, did
Saving
we
throw
get
is
a
he
con
required to
saving
do?
throw for that?
Oh, I thought you rolled it. Sorry, I saw you rolled it.
Nope, that was me. That when I click my spell, it shows what the DC is. Holy
Look, you don't got to make saving throws in Little League, all right? You guys can't call me over here last minute and ask me not to just call it like I see it.
It will be half, so Saloon helped me a little
Just
bit.
calling it at all would be fine.
Saloon helped a little bit. Also,
22.
the moonbeam will still be there. He will take half, so he'll take 6 radiant damage.
And this is the Sue's closest to you?
Yes, the one that's right on the
Okay.
edge.
Okay.
Yeah, somebody in chat said a gentle moonbeam. Yeah,
He's
it's kind
living
of
on
peaceful.
the edge.
And then that's my action.
Well, with that
I would also like to look
fist
over
lamp-
at Ava and just see if I can see how Ava's doing.
I'm very burnt.
Very burnt. Okay, I see a lot of burn. Okay, cool.
You
Looks
sure
like,
he's a doctor? He can't even. I heard him asking if that's burns. Like,
Well, it seems really like the good doctor is not so good at focusing that moonbeam. And he's on hiding to nothing with his prayer to Saloon. Moving on, we move on to the singed and probably extremely angry Ava.
That would be correct, yes. How big is the moonbeam area?
So the moonbeam, of course, is, I believe,
a 5 feet
5
cylinder.
foot cylinder. It is indeed 5 foot radius. When creatures enter the spell's area for the first time or start a turn there, it is engulfed in ghostly flames. So I would suggest not running through it.
Right. If I go up to him and I punch him, do I have to punch into the moonbeam is my question. I would like to not be scorched further if possible.
I think that would be a flex and Slappy? I forget Jeremy's guy's name.
Stubby McClap.
name Stubby. You ain't that smart for a doctor. I mean, that's like the third thing you forgot in like 15 minutes. Maybe
I'm feeling
too much knowledge up in
sorry
there.
for you, so I'm inclined to say it won't affect you. Get the marvels of whatever piece of technology you're using in space.
Our Lord's Armada standard issue suits are very resilient. It's true. Great. Well, all right. I'm going to then scoop up Apricot, which can I have as a free action?
Certainly.
Huzzah. All right. So I'm going to scoop up Apricot, and we are going to jump over, which, because of the low gravity, is just a movement.
Yeah,
you're able to jump pretty
not
easily.
a task requiring a roll.
Oh,
All right.
cool.
Well, just to be clear, I'm a monk, and I could have done it anyway, but you know.
You do it with aplomb.
I do. I make it look easy because it is. And then I'm going to go ahead and unarmed strike this Suze. And let's make an attack roll here. Nice. 24 for... All right, that's 8 damage. And then I'm going to Flurry of Blows. And
My goodness.
what I'm going to do for that is I'm going to have one of the Flurry of Blows be an unarmed strike, which, ooh, 23, nice. For, ooh, another 8 bludgeoning damage. And then the second one, I'm going to make a Hand of Healing. So I'll spend a key point to heal myself for, I don't know what's wrong here. So that's for 3 hit points. So I punch myself in the face and go, oh, and then I kind of, oh, and then you see like some of the burns have healed a little bit because
That's some good punching. Never before have I seen that, but certainly it's something I'd be inclined to try for myself, had my nose not already been broken so many times. It certainly looks like that Suze is looking particularly bad now.
Yeah, where'd you find these guys again? I thought they were supposed to be tough, and now they're just beating them up with their fists.
Well, essentially, I was just dragged out of my office 10 minutes before we started, and I was told that these people were ready for a fight, and that was all I needed to know.
Well, I mean, they're losing to a little ferret and a fucking coffee maker.
Not my choice. I'm just here calling the action as I sees it. Speaking of which, speaking of adorable little ferrets, it's Apricot next.
all right, well, Apricot is a trained assassin, so don't feel too badly. She's going to kind of, I guess I'm still holding her, I think. She's just going to sort of stretch herself out because ferrets are stretchy in that way. And she's going to bite this guy.
Fuck yeah, she is.
Let me make an attack roll here. I guess I'm going to do it with real dice. Oh, it's a natural 1.
Oh, that is a shame.
Apricot.
Don't like that dice.
Apricot.
That is a shame.
No fish oil paste for you, Apricot.
Even a
Oh.
trained assassin makes mistakes sometimes.
Sure do. That explains how I'm still alive. And with that, we move on to Rodney, the beaten-up coffee machine.
Yeah, Brownie's pretty beat up right now. So you'll see two auxiliary arms shoot out of Rodney, and they've just got little tiny Phillips head screwdrivers, and they start just trying to any loose bolts or anything. They're trying to tighten up on him as he is going to cast his repair, which you can do 3 times a day. Wow, cool, Rodney. 2d8 and you got a 4. So he heals up 4 points of damage. Could have been much better.
Like Rodney's taking himself off to the corner to screw himself.
Quite literally could have been 4 times better than that, but here we are.
Them's the breaks.
Them's the breaks, and that's Rodney's turn. I'm sorry, Rob, if I lose your Keurig tonight.
They shouldn't have put decaf in there.
We need that dark original blend, and we move back up to the off.
Now, if y'all notice, the off is the kind of warrior that wins fights, and that's why if you're looking down here at the battle arena, you'll see a victory in the making as the off is trying to win. That is why we chose the off.
He may look like a horrible, rubbery, evil tree, but that tree plants the seeds of victory.
So the off is going to, so actually you'll see right in front of Rodney, the Suze that's standing in front of him will start to like shake and like bubble, and kind of like its gelatinous body is like churning, and it'll actually drop down and turn into that weird puddle again. And simultaneously the off will also turn into a puddle, and then you'll see them both grow back, except the off is now standing directly in front of Rodney, while the Suze is now standing where the off was previously at. They seem to have switched places through some sort of magic that you don't quite understand. And then he's like, "You have been warned, Rodney." And it's going to extend one of its tentacles up in the air, which will then actually take the shape of like a giant mallet, and it will drop down on top of the sentient coffee maker.
Oh, no.
With a natural 1.
He was too busy being cocky.
Well, pride comes before a fall, as they say.
As it slams down, I suppose Rodney will kind of move out of the way just enough for this hammer to hit the ground, and when it does, it splats back and then grows back into its shape again, and he goes for the multi-attack.
Well, fuck.
10
Okay,
to
cool.
hit.
No, that misses, luckily.
So what's it look like when Rodney dodges the second one?
The second one, he uses his little steam, and some steam surrounds Rodney a little bit and obscures his movement, and he just takes a small, purposeful step to the left.
All right. And now the Suze is just standing there with its very impending 9-foot tall size and those giant, massive tendrils. Meanwhile, the Suze, which is in the back, is just kind of sitting there banging its sword against its shield uselessly. We will then move to the Suze. So the Suze that is back here, you actually see its shield and sword kind of absorb back into it, and then it'll start to glow slightly. You don't know why, though. However, the other Suze, which is within melee damage or melee range, is going to try for another attack, and it wants to hit Ava. It wants to hit Ava, but it can't because this assassin ferret is in the way, so it's going to strike towards the ferret first. For a 10.
That's not going to hit. It's pretty hard to hit a ferret because they're wiggly.
They are indeed
That's
wiggly.
true. That is a known fact. Ferrets are wiggly.
It goes to swing against the ferret, and Apricot is able to just very easily dodge it due to the supreme wiggliness.
She zagged on him.
Yeah. It was expecting a zig, and Apricot zagged. So we will move on to the next one.
Which is Dr. Shepard.
Well, I mean, hell, why didn't they just do that the first time? You know, just jump out of the way. Then they wouldn't have all them cuts and scrapes all over them.
That is a good question, and one which is often asked inside the arena. People seem to like getting hit. That's the only conclusion I can draw.
I'll consider
do you
that
even
next
pay
time.
'em? Y'all even pay these people, or they just kind of show up to get beat up on bigger syndrome things?
We don't talk about that on the air.
Well, I mean, y'all still paying me, right?
We don't talk about that on the air. You will, of course, receive nacho token.
Damn it, Flex! If you weren't my cousin, I fucking wouldn't be here.
So Dr. Shepard is going to get.
No, if I weren't your father, you wouldn't be here.
All right, I can choose one. You want me to call you uncle or daddy? We went through this a long time ago.
Well, I
You can't switch it every year.
I never did settle that with my sister cousin, so I guess we'll just come back to that at Thanksgiving.
Like every Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I guess we can't. We don't have any politics to argue about anymore, so we'll have to pick something.
I thought your dad was Garth Brooks.
Well, why don't you go ahead and tell them the truth, Flex?
Well,
Ladies and gentlemen, Garth Brooks.
Sometimes I go singing outside, and I can't hide it no more. I'm Garth Brooks, everybody, and I'm gonna go. No, sorry, I don't show what came over me there. I am Flex Gristle and always have been, and I only have a vague awareness of who this Garth Brooks character is. Can we return, please, to the Modras Bloodsport Association?
Dr. Shepard's going to run to the edge of this asteroid, I guess we're on, this platform, and feels like maybe got the scanner working now. We shall see. I'm going to try to take aim at the closest ooze man to me, and maybe now with a little bit closer distance, can actually scan it. 15? Question mark?
15. Yes, that is sufficient.
Ooh, wow. Well, then, yeah, not only do I scan this thing and it illuminates it brighter so that the next person that tries to attack it is going to have an advantage. Also, there's a little bit of extra kick to these scans, a little bit of extra radiation, and that's going to be 19 radiant damage.
Which was that targeting again?
The closest one, which I believe is the weakest one.
It is, and describe how this Suze is erased from existence.
Yeah, so I aim my scanner, which looks kind of like a highway patrol radar gun, like a speed radar detection gun. Aiming at it, hold the trigger down to scan it, and I have to do like an up and down motion to scan its whole body. And as it does, its body starts to just glow brighter and brighter and hotter white until eventually... Are these things literally made out of like ooze and jelly?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, it just eventually just heats it all up like a microwave, quite literally microwaving this fellow.
I think it's pronounced microwave.
Microwave, and it just explodes, and its shield and sword drop to the ground.
Well, a satisfying end to a sloppy Suze.
And as soon as that Suze gets destroyed and it kind of evaporates back into the goo, you actually see the sword and shield will also slowly dissolve into the ground and then eventually disappear.
Well then, if that is all from the good doctor, we will move on to Ava.
It is all.
Alrighty. Well, this guy is what? Quite close. Alright, well, I've still got Apricot, so us ladies are gonna make our way over to this large gentleman and join our friend Rodney, who I have said before and I will say it again, I would die for, and I am prepared to on this day. I'm going to make another unarmed strike at this guy, and it's going to be non-natural 20? An unnatural 20.
An uncanny 20.
For 6 damage. And then, as a bonus action, I am going to make one more unarmed strike, and that one is a 13?
Sadly, not quite good enough.
Oof. All right. Well, I got one. 1 out of 2.
You certainly did, and landed a satisfying blow to the off. Up next is the baby-faced assassin, that is Apricot.
Oh man, in ferret years she's actually 61, but okay. Well, Apricot's
Doesn't look it. Fine-looking
she
ferret.
doesn't look a day over 2. She's gonna make another. She's gonna try and bite this large gentleman, and that's gonna be a 21 to hit, and
just misses.
5 piercing damage. She's just
5
gonna...
piercing ferret damage.
Ferrets kind of have little orc teeth that come out the bottom, so it's like a big
Ferret tusks. I know
ferret
them
tusks.
well. Beautiful. And
Beautiful
they tick
creatures.
around. They certainly are. Terrifying, but beautiful. And the clock ticks around to Rodney, the sad, sad coffee machine. Certainly seen some abuse at the hands of the off.
Yeah, definitely. And at the risk of being boring, I think I'm really worried out of character of losing Rob's Keurig. So I think it's just going to...
I think it's safe to say that this will not be canon.
Well, either way, I think it's going to try to play it safe and just one more time fix a couple more loose screws just for good measure before it really bites into this thing.
He's really
maybe
just going to
literally,
fiddle with
we'll
his
see.
insides in front of everybody.
I do need to find that repair again, which is obviously right here. And when I say right here, I actually mean right here.
Apologies to the citizens of the universe. We are having trouble with
7.
Clancy once again.
7 points, which is much better than 4. Some
It
may
is
say.
significant. It's almost twice as good as 4.
Almost, mathematically speaking. So just tightening up some more screws, really getting ready to get this thing next turn, if it makes it that far.
Well then, Rodney, as he's there, screwing himself once again good and tight, we move back up to the Oth.
So the Oth, which, after switching places through its plasmordial transportability, it is now exactly where it wants to be, and it has almost all of its enemies within melee range. So you will see those 4 tendrils lift back up into the air once more, and they're actually going to all form together into what looks like one gigantic mallet and come down right on top of poor little Rodney.
Rodney's really, my
23
goodness,
to
that's a
hit.
23.
Yeah.
Rodney really receiving a thrashing tonight.
Ooh, yeah, that one's gonna hit.
And as it uses all 4 of its tendrils to make this massive attack, it's going to hit him for 17 damage.
Ooh, ouch.
It's going to go MBA, where coffee makers come to die.
Guess how much HP he had after that last repair? 18. He's down to 1.
He's still standing, held together by nothing more than spit and hope.
Not
Hang in there,
181.
Rodney.
Yeah, he's really feeling it. He's got some leaky steam coming out. He's got one of his legs has fallen to the side.
Rodney, poor Rodney. And we have the Suses, should I say the singular Sus,
So
looking all lonely in the rear asteroid.
yeah, that remaining Suze is going to do the same thing it had done on the first turn, and it'll just effortlessly leap up into the air and then land back down on the other side, now standing behind Ava. It will clash that sword up against its shield, which, even though they're made of the goo substance, it seems it can choose when it's solid and when it's gelatinous, and it signifying that it is indeed solid, and it will attempt to make a sword attack against her. Luckily, it's not flanking, though, because there is a little ferret assassin in between the 2 of them. All right. Oh, I almost rolled 2 d20s. That would be
Let's
good.
not do that, please.
12 to hit.
Does a 40
Not gonna
hit?
do it. No, I'm a monk. I dodged. No, it does not hit.
Beautiful.
All right, yeah, it attempts to hit you with that sword, but it is unable to do so. We will move on to the next person.
Which is, of course, the good Dr. Shepard.
Dr.
All right, go hit him, Doc. I'll take back all that terrible shit I said about you if you hit him right now.
Does that make him a doctopus?
So I can just jump over this for movement speed.
Yes.
It's a nice low gravity jump. Oh man, take back everything you said about me if I hit him.
He said some pretty bad things.
Hey, look, that offer only stands this turn. Like, you got 6 seconds to figure it out.
Okay, well, I just remembered that Moonbeam is like a thing that lasts for a minute. So it's just this big 40-foot high cylinder of light that's been here that I completely forgot about last round. So I'm going to scooch it. I can use my action to move it. Of course, I can move it a total of 60 feet. Which, of course, is going to be, well within the range.
More than enough. Yes.
I'm going to move it to the smaller Jellyman. Try to get him out. So I'm going to move it right up here, up north onto that one. So it just cuts a path as it's going. And a slow, just big beam coming down from Saloon, helping me out just a little bit. Maybe she's going to help me out more this time, as this thing needs to make another con saving throw.
Dr. Shepard with a patented scooch and scorch maneuver.
This one will be 16 points of damage if it fails that DC 12.
Right.
I believe that's a +3.
Oh, that's kind of a lot. That's a lot to beat a 12 DC.
For a con save?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it'll take 8. Saloon is letting me down. But it'll still take 8 points of damage as it scorches it a little bit. It's another gentle moonbeam.
Nobody likes burnt jelly, and that certainly is what we're seeing here. Ouch, sizzle, and pop. No, thank you. And next up we have Ava.
All right. I'm engaged with both of these guys. Is that right?
You're directly up against the Sues, and then Apricot is between you and the off.
Okay. All right, cool. I'm going to punch the Suze in whatever gelatinous face it has, as it were. Let's see. Arm strike. It's an 11.
That is sadly just shy of the required accuracy to hit the Suze.
All right. Well, I'm going to flurry of blows and try and get it at least once.
Flurry away, Ava. Let's see that flurry.
All right. First one. Okay, 14. So
that
I do
will do the job. Absolutely.
Knock it once, and for a second.
And another 14. Absolutely a
All
go.
right. Let me roll damage for those. All right. So that's 8 and
Oh, my goodness.
5.
The Sioux stands, but it looks particularly bruised and battered and singed, and not in a good way at all, but it's still standing, still clanging that sword and shield together. Up next is Apricot, the betusked, beautiful ferret.
What a woman. She's going to bite away once more. That's going to be... Oh my god, Apricot. That's another nat 1.
Apricot, get your shit together.
Look, Apricot is not used to fighting, and this is her first day. And as her mother, I've taught she's a trained assassin. She's never had to actually fight.
She's just done a lot of training.
Theoretically, she's a great assassin.
There's no substitute for good field work, as I'm sure Apricot is finding out tonight. Well, though, sad little Rodney, I think, is next.
They
Yes.
said Apricot spent half of its life training for this moment. Unfortunately, that's only been 4 months.
I don't know the ratio of ferret years to human years, but we know that in ferret years, apricot is 61. So unless it is 4 months to ferret years of 61 years, then I don't know if that math
It's
checks
eight.
out.
It's 8 months to every 61 years. Is
Yeah,
actually
that's
exactly
right. Yeah,
what it
because
is.
half. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
15
it.
years.
That's
15
it.
years per month.
Wow, you know what would have been really cool if I would have
Every
actually
day's a school day. I learn something new every day.
if I'd have actually like known more about Rodney, and if Rodney was like my pet, and I actually studied up, and it wasn't just our Artificer Warforge's pet that he lent me his coffee machine for tonight, he could have been taking reactions throughout the night to impose disadvantage on a creature
Yeah,
within
well,
5
if
feet.
my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle. So never
That
mind.
is true.
Not necessarily. Jenner's
That's
a
actually
social
not
podcast.
true. That is true.
But Rodney's just a little out of sorts because his dad info isn't here.
That's
I mean, that's what he gets for getting them at a secondhand store.
Yeah, well, okay, if I hit for this damage, that's gonna be a nice 8 solid damage as Rodney, pardon me, is going to hover in air a little bit, take 2 of its coffee espresso nozzles and try to gouge this jelly man's jelly eyes out. As soon as I find my plus to hit, which of course is my spell casting modifier, so I will go ahead and just click my spell casting modifier.
Wait, are Apricot and Rodney flanking?
That would be cool if they were. No. Oh, yeah, because look, well, the thing is, if Rodney did that, Rodney would have to move up right there.
Oh, okay.
To not get an opportunity attack from the big boy, because Rodney's got 1 HP. So definitely don't want to take an opportunity attack. So I don't think a 6 is gonna hit, as Rodney really gears up to gouge out these eyes, these jelly eyes. But he's too squishy. Literally, the jelly man's too squishy, and Rodney can't get a hold of him. He's too slimy.
There's absolutely no chance of Rodney dealing any damage with rolls like that. Unfortunately.
Unless,
All right.
of course, this armor class is 5.
it
No,
is not.
Okay.
Hasn't changed in the
Has
past couple
not
seconds?
changed, are you sure?
Oh, damn.
My whim has not changed, and therefore the AC has not either. Okay, Rodney, with that fizzling out, we move back up to the big boy Oth.
All right, so this Oth, this Oth is now going to turn, and it is just towering over this whole group. And the Oth, you'll see its tendrils split back into 4 again, and it's going to raise one of them into the air, and you actually see a blue beam of energy begin to materialize on the tip of the tendril before it turns into 4 darts of force damage that immediately strike Ava as it casts magic missile.
Oh, no.
It makes me angry that I can't deflect
No
missiles,
avoiding
magic missile.
missiles, unfortunately.
They shouldn't have called it that if they didn't want me to treat it like a missile. All right, so it is how much
You hit for
damage?
12 magical force damage as all 4 of these go and they all hit you.
All right, well, I am in the excellent company of Rodney in the 1 HP club.
Cool.
So-
Oh my
I am-
goodness me.
Fantastic.
Just a scorched pincushion of a woman at this point.
Oh, no.
Looks like we might actually see some fatalities tonight, Stubby.
I told you to leave me be.
He did tell you.
Well,
Never
I mean,
mind. We're in the situation now.
that's what we get for letting Clancy pick him out this time. We told him after the incident during the Christmas special, just, you know.
Or
but,
the space monsters weren't tough enough. Here we have the Sioux, the remaining Sioux, looking quite bad, as I say, but he's up next.
So this Suze is going to move around Ava, staying within melee range of her to not to not give her an attack of opportunity. And it is going to finally strike down this assassin because it's seen what the assassin can do when it's in full form, and it knows that it needs to take care of it quick while it's having this kind of streak of not being so accurate lately. So it needs to take advantage of its weakness in this moment. So it's going to swing that gelatinous sword up into the air and attempt to hit, but it only gets a lowly 4.
Wow. Think?
It may be jiggly, but apricot is wiggly.
Wiggly is greater than jiggly.
Greater than jiggly.
Everyone knows that.
Everyone knows that.
Alligator mouth
that's
will always go to jiggly.
3rd grade.
Or wiggly.
It's like rocks, paper, scissors.
Beautiful.
Oh, wiggle, jiggle, and stick. All right, we're moving on to...
I don't know where a stick falls, but is it Dr. Shepard?
If a stick falls and no one's there to hear it, does it make a sound? Let's ask Dr. Shepard.
Well, Dr. Shepard is going to run up closer to the gang. Not close enough to like get in melee range or anything silly like that. But yeah, close enough that so I'm not 100% sure how the healing on the Steel Defender is, since it's a construct. So I'm not positive, unfortunately, if this is going to help Rodney or not. But I've got these very limited second spell grenades, healing grenades, that cast a prayer of healing effectively. Which prayer of healing up to 6 creatures of your choice you can see within range, which is 30 feet. Regain hit points equal to 2d8 plus my spellcasting modifier. Oh, here it goes. This spell has no effect on undead or constructs. So sorry, Rodney, but...
Bring out the holy hand grenade.
But everybody else will be getting 15 points of healing. So Ava and Apricot, if Apricot has got hit.
Do not think she has.
Hopefully Apricot's the killer rabbit.
That's how I've been picturing it all night.
Apricot feels fantastic. She's just not performing very well.
Well, I'm really sad that Rodney
She
wasn't
just
able to
stopped
get
chasing
that heal.
around those ping pong balls.
Yeah, but she can't do it.
Oh my goodness, what is happening? It seems like there's some kind of activity within the nebula, and an energy beam has struck the off for 23 points of damage.
Thank you, Gerundu. Gerundu used 10,000 chat
Whoever
points.
that Gerundu is, what a nice
Gerundu
guy he
in
must
chat
be.
used 10,000 chat points.
How come I just had $10,000 deducted from my bank account?
We've got, well, you know, those Nacho tokens don't pay for themselves.
Who's this Gerundu?
A fine, upstanding fellow.
A kind and loving God.
The kind of guy who calls in lightning to sabotage his own encounter just to give the players a chance.
I don't
That's
want to
what
know how
kind
much
of
HP
is.
that thing has.
A lot.
Before or after this lightning strike.
Suffice it to say, it has a lot.
It's a lot.
Well, Ava, I believe, is up next after that horrible plasmic discharge from the nebula.
All right. I am full of darts and covered in burns, and I feel like a little bit better after being bombed with healing, but I'm pissed as hell. I really want to take out this is it a Suze? This green guy?
Yeah,
It is.
Okay, the Suze and the Off they're all new to me. I'm new to space. So I'm gonna try to take out this Suze, and I'm going to make an unarmed strike. Maybe I'll kick him this time.
Why not?
All right, for a 25.
Shit, well, that's 25. It's certainly gonna hit.
Yeah, well, you know. All right, that's
Wow.
gonna be
Devastating accuracy from the
all
one.
right, 6 damage.
The Suze is gone. It is no more. You can describe how you take out that Suze.
I just roundhouse kick this Suze in so hard that it explodes into a million blobs of jelly that float off into space.
I would not want to be on the receiving end of that blob. Delicious. And anything else?
Yeah, as a bonus action, I'm going to unarmed strike the Off.
Tell it to piss off.
Oh, it's an 8. My
An
bonus
8 is-
actions are not particularly bonus tonight.
No, they are not, unfortunately.
When Ava goes to punch, just like before, it kind of separates and comes back together. It's right where you would have punched.
It's really uncanny. I didn't like having my hand like in it. Ugh.
Slimy, oozy, Susie, off, Susie ooze. Those, I believe, are the scientific names for these things. Up next, it's Apricot.
All right. Well, Apricot is absolutely going to attempt to bite this guy again. That is a 21 to hit.
Much better than the last two.
Yeah,
Yep.
she finally got it. She's just
All that
Eventually
training finally pays off.
something's bound to hit, right? And she that's going to be for 6 piercing damage.
Delicious 6.
Sinks her little teeth right into that off.
Well, the off is still resilient, still standing, but has certainly taken some wounds.
It's a little pissed off.
How's little Rodney faring?
So Rodney's toying with try to repair and maybe take one more hit or just fucking go after this off.
Does Rodney have some kind of self-destruct mechanism?
Rodney does not, and I will not lose Rob's coffee maker. No.
Well, it's just in. We're getting a quick message here from someone named Powerhelm. It
Seems to
says
suggest he does.
he seems to suggest that not only does he have a self-destruct, but he should engage it if at all possible.
Engage it.
It's been a couple minutes since this message has been received, but it seems like it is loud and clear.
I'm feeling particularly charitable tonight, so I would suggest if he drops to 0 hit points, he will do something offensive to the off.
Okay, then knowing that Rodney there's steam building in Rodney, and it's starting to come out of all of the cracks and the spaces in metal that have been opened up over the evening. Doesn't look like Rodney's long for this world, at least in this canon. So Rodney, pent up with all this rage, is going to jump up and try to. He's got this actuated punch that's usually for like frothing coffees and espressos, and it's also for kicking ass. And he is going to try to punch this thing right in the face. If it's got a face. I don't know if it does.
It has a kind of face.
It is my spell cast modifier, which is a +4. A dirty 20 to hit. I hope that hits.
That will do the job.
Wow, cool, Rodney. Nice 1 damage.
And it looks like that coffee's getting a little lukewarm out there.
Really should be grinding some fresh beans because those look stale.
Never change, Rodney.
Well, back to the top with the Oth, the seemingly unflappable Oth.
Now, what's going on over here, Flex? It looks like the off is starting to turn to a bright blue color, and its tendrils are... What's happening now? And you'll actually see the oth's tendrils kind of like flatten out and then kind of grow like wider and more thick, and they kind of look similar to like flower petals. And you'll see all 4 on each side kind of close up around it, and it kind of looks like a pod from Alien, like the eggs or something. And you just see it start emanating. It's like glowing. The whole thing's glowing like this bluish green color, but you can still see that deep red, like warm core that's kind of glowing through its translucent skin. You hear this, but that's all it seems to do. And we will move on to our next contestant.
I believe
Which
that
is Dr. Shepard.
Yeah,
Yes.
Dr. Shepard is going to not neglect that moonbeam again and have it just kind of circle wide around everybody else as it circles back on the Oth. And the Oth will need to make, of course, a Constitution saving throw. Wow, or take a whopping 6 points of damage. Thank you, roll 20. 2 plus a 4 on 2d10. That's awesome.
And that's with the moonbeam. So you actually notice it seems to kind of like bounce off of this outer carapace, and you feel like it did affect it, but not nearly as much as it would have if it wasn't in this kind of defensive mode.
Well, shit. I'll get a
But you
little...
do still hit it for 3 radiant damage.
Okay, I'll get a little bit closer to it. Try to see what's happening.
Okay. Why don't you actually just make an insight check for us?
Yep. A 7. Pretty distracted.
You're not sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty
You didn't
distracted
learn
by
this
how
at
bad
Dr. School.
Saloon's doing for me tonight.
Saloon has sailed away.
All right. Well, it looks like we're
no.
moving on to our next contestant here. The doctor is, I don't know what the hell he's doing. He's looking at whatever that device he's always holding is, and it seems he just completely moved past his turn.
Well, to each his own, as long as it's still attached to their body, I suppose. And Ava, what are we gonna see from Ava this turn?
Ava sees this thing blinking and making ominous noises and is going to take a dodge action. She's getting into his defensive stance, ready to, karate chop away any crazy flower beams or anything like that.
Fair enough. Be anything else this turn?
No, that's about
All right.
it.
Well, then it's the deadly assassin apricot.
The deadly assassin apricot is going to crawl into Ava's vest and also take the dodge action.
Sound. Rodney, the
Fucking
sad little
Rodney.
coffee maker.
Rodney is going ham on this thing and just beating against his carapace, trying to punch its way through with its power-actuated fist. For an 11 to hit?
11 is not going to make it.
11's not
No,
going
it
to make
will
it
not.
through this armored, weird carapace thing. Okay, so Rodney's just like, I don't know if Rodney can talk. We haven't heard that yet, I don't think.
Yeah, he can talk, I think. Right?
I don't remember.
You tell me, it's your podcast.
It's bold of you to assume I remember anything.
I don't think we've heard him talk.
Right.
Oh, very well.
Yeah. I think it's back
What's
up
he
to the
gonna do?
weird cocoon, which is probably
Yes,
could
it's
be
back
bad.
up to the off.
Suddenly, this cocoon stops glowing blue, and you see the little red light that you can see glowing through the translucent jelly start to intensify. It's like, and you see it like start to become like more spherical and spherical, as if this energy is attempting to burst out. And it's like, and then it just implodes and it completely disappears. And then you'll see it reappear back up here where it had started. And then as it reappears, the front will open and this blast of fire will launch out. And I need the 3 of you to make a dexterity saving throw.
All right, well,
the
Apricot and I
three-
get advantage.
Ronnie doesn't.
Poor Rodney.
But doesn't need it with a natural
Wow.
20. He's done getting hit tonight.
Wow.
Every time I have advantage on anything, I roll the same number twice. So Ava got a 23, and Apricot is going. She has +3, so Apricot's gonna
Well,
get.
if Apricot gets hit, I'm gonna be pissed.
No. Apricot got a 19.
Okay.
Again, thanks Lord's Armada for these killer suits. Unfortunately, I couldn't fit a whole coffee maker inside of my suit, or else I would have.
So as this obelisk of a creature, once again, it's like 9 or 10 feet tall. I mean, when it extends to its full height, and it goes to that like spherical thing. And as soon as the front of these like kind of petal-looking things open, a blast of fire launches forward as it casts an Agonizer Scorcher. And you only take 7 damage, probably due to the difference in elevation and the fact that all of you are just fucking pros at dodging things. On top of that, you take half of that damage, so you only take 4, because I think it's rounded up.
So,
So
Ronnie
14.
is still. He only had 1 HP.
Yeah. Well, it seems like that coffee ain't lukewarm anymore, as that fire blast hit it, and it just evaporates all the coffee inside. Rodney falls to the ground. He's nothing more than an inanimate coffee pot now.
Seems like the people were promised some kind of auto destruct upon death. So
Yeah,
Flex
what
Crystal
happens now?
picking up the Picking up the commentary here, we can see the pressure building within inside the internal coffee machine, sending shrapnel flying back towards the earth at a great rate of speed, unimpeded by conventional gravity. Of course, the velocity on that shrapnel is quite something. Let's have a look at how powerful it is. A mere 6 points of damage. The shrapnel spreads around the earth.
I'm
Not
thinking
very much of it impacting.
Rodney died as he lived ineffectively.
I'm thinking the way it looks is that like when it teleports, Rodney's with it, and then Rodney just explodes.
Rodney was up on it, like just punching into it. So yeah, teleports with Rodney.
Hold it in.
It's just steamed milk and scrap iron spread across the cosmos.
Little Rodney backpack.
Poor Rodney.
I do have mending, so once shit's over and I've got a minute to spend to mend, I can try to fix up Rodney before info.
I'm
Scott's
certain the velocity at which his parts were spread across the asteroid belt.
He didn't collect them.
It'd take,
Stop
it'd
it!
take
Don't say
far
that.
longer than a minute. It's dead forever. That is canon.
It's
End
canon.
of podcast.
You will hear the off growling in its alien-like tone. It's like, that's what you get for buying the cheap stuff. Who is next to greet death's door?
I don't cotton to this guy's elitism.
Also, it doesn't have like a face. Like when it talks, you see like it's almost like a waveform in like the weird glowing red light that's like is its face slash soul slash the source of all its magical attacks, and it's just like moving like a waveform as it talks. So we are moving. Who's after Rodney?
It would be well,
Or after the off?
It was the off, so we have no more Susans left. It is Dr. Shepard.
I'm gonna run up to the edge and of course shoot my moonbeam over there. I'm not gonna, I'm gonna be conserving my spell slots as much as I can. So that means that it will need to make a Constitution saving throw if my moonbeam catches up to it.
Okay. Thanks for giving me the 4-minute warning.
And then how is Ava looking if I were to glance over? And I know Ava just got hit by that. Ooh, nice.
Ava is looking pretty so-so, like about half as well as you have seen her look on a good day.
So, one thing that I've been completely neglecting to do is whenever I use my action to move the moonbeam, I still have my bonus action. I'm going to toss Ava some bandages, and it's going to be my healing award, and for 6 points of healing.
Your aim is amazing. They just
They
everywhere
like
I need them.
They're like.
I use my monk reflexes to be like
Well,
I get them everywhere I
was
need.
thinking they're like high tech self attaching I don't know, like
Adhesive.
Yeah, adhesive.
They're homing band-aids. Sorry, is it 4?
They're homing band-aids, and I throw you a couple of them for 6 points of healing.
Oh, 6. Nice.
Now I've got one whole spell slot left, level 1. So let's get this done, please.
I still got a key point.
So
We're
yeah,
doing
that
great.
did the full 11 points of damage though, because that thing did a really bad con saving throw.
Adam, did you see the thing I posted in the chat on Twitch?
Yes.
You can use the mending spell to revive Rodney.
I know it takes 1 minute to cast that spell though.
Even if you use a spell slot and not a
It is
not a ritual.
It's a cantrip.
Oh, it always takes a minute.
Yeah, it says cantrip and it
Gotcha.
says casting time 1 minute.
All right. Well, you got 10 rounds, right?
I'm clocking out. I'm gonna go upstairs, eat some dinner. I'm casting no.
All right.
Well, now that coffee machine's been taken care of, it moves on to. Who we got?
It's Ava up next.
All right, I've had more than enough of this guy, and I'm pretty peeved about Rodney, so I'm gonna go ahead and, with Apricot still safely inside of my suit, I'm going to make a very cool anti-gravity leaping kick right at this thing. And that's gonna be for, let's see here.
That is a very cool visual of you just flying through the sky.
That was like a 30-foot extended kick.
It's a little slow. It's a little awkward. I got a lot of hang time where I'm kind of like, all right, does a 14 hit?
It doesn't, but I'm so inspired by you leaping across that distance with foot outstretched that I'm going to give you advantage.
Oh,
and here I thought Adam was the one that always makes sure no one dies.
They might still die.
Does
I'm
a
just
15 hit?
conscious that it's getting late for me.
Does a 15 hit?
A 15 does hit.
Oh, you love to see it. All right.
That's
Wow.
nice.
Okay, that's going to be 8 damage, and then bonus action, I'm going to Hands of Harm. So I'm going to imbue my kicking foot with some I guess it's Feet of Harm in this case. Necrotic energy flowing through my body, and that's going to be, let's see here.
Seems to be my experience, though. A lot of people have necrotic energy flowing through their feet.
Actually, okay. So I'm going to that's just free. I don't have to do a bonus for that. So that's going to be an extra 3 necrotic damage, and then on top of that, I'm going to flurry of blows for 2 more unarmed strikes because Rodney was my boy, and you can't take my boy from me like that. So that's going to be 21 and a nat 1. Oh no, that's the 7. I can read a 13, but that won't hit. One of them hits, and it's going to be
sure
for
does.
another 7.
Another 7 damage. Wow. Well, with that leaping kick followed by what looked to be some kind of spinning back roundhouse of some description, the Oth has taken quite the pummeling from Ava that time. Next up, we have Apricot.
Apricot is going to do what Apricot does best, which is stretch
Miss.
herself out. Miss. She's going to do what she does second best, which is hit and stretch her little weird body out and bite. So that's going to be... Okay, that's going to be a dirty 20, and...
Dirty 20 hits.
She heard you, and she wanted to prove you wrong. She's an oppositional defiant ferret. And it is going to be for... Ooh, max damage. That's going to be 9 piercing damage.
Ooh, delightful. All right. Rodney is no more.
Rodney's just...
For a time being,
to remind us.
So with that, we're back up to the Oth, the fearsome Oth.
Can I just say that I've killed the first fucking person on this show, and it was Rodney.
Rodney's not a person, but...
Hey, that's offensive. Have you met Rodney?
I love Rodney. I loved Rodney like a brother, but he was a coffee machine.
Someone hasn't seen The Brave Little Toaster.
I've been thinking about that movie literally all night.
Yes.
Rodney's my spirit animal. Either way. So now that we have moved to the Oth, Oth, which had charged up the turn before, teleported and hit you all with some sort of fire burst. The petals will now they were peeling back this whole time, and it will slowly peel back, and they will turn back into these strange tendrils. And it is now assuming its original form. However, the central part where it's kind of like cocooning that glowing red source of energy, whatever that might be, that actually opens a little bit wider, and a cloud of poisonous gas will go and spray out in front of you. So I would need the 3 of you to make a dexterity saving throw first.
Dr. Shepard also?
Nope, just it's only within 30 feet, so
Okay.
30-foot cone.
Well,
so
Brownie
it only
is-
hits those.
That is a
Brownie
nat
did.
20
Oh,
from
sorry.
Ava.
Wow.
So 26 total, and ideally...
You
we
take
can-
no damage, right?
We can ride this high with... Okay, from Apricot, that's going to be a nat 10.
Nat 10. Okay. So for Ava, who got over a 15, you do not have to worry about making the next save. However, Apricot needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay, come on, Apricot. Okay, Apricot got an 18.
Okay. So in that case, you both get to take half damage. So you are hit with this poison gas. You both only take half damage, so you both only take 9 or 8. I think it rounds down for this one for poison. 8 damage, and neither of you are poisoned.
Well, that's good. Apricot has a very keen sense of smell, and she could sense it coming and kind of.
All right, but after that happens, the thing will actually begin to slither backwards and granting both of you an attack of opportunity if you so choose, unless you want to save your reaction for something else.
Oh, I do choose. Very much choose. So that, yeah, I will absolutely take an attack of opportunity. All right, 25.
That hits.
That certainly hits.
All right, for 5 damage. And Apricot is going to be...
Get a good bite, Apricot.
Come on, Apricot. Take a good bite. Oh, yeah. That is going to be a 24. Apricot's feeling chompy today. And that's going to be for 4 damage.
Has Apricot ran up and is now in... Are you both within melee range?
I assume that we just got him before he left. Like on his way out. He turned tail and we both.
Yes, it was an attack of opportunity.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Sorry. Forgot literally the thing I told you to do. Okay.
Listen, who among us?
That's why Stubby's not in on the regular.
Who among us?
Well.
There you go.
All right. Beautiful.
All right. So does that bring us back to...
the good Dr. Shepard and his many tentacular face appendages.
Yes, and Dr. Shepard, all of his gear is starting to malfunction now. Dr. Shepard is going to...
I'm starting to think he ain't much of a doctor. I mean, he literally said he's a doctor of everything and then has failed to do anything.
Well, their scanner
looks like he's
is definitely
scanning some kind of moss.
Well, no, yeah, scanning the ground, hitting it on my knee.
Not sure what he's doing there.
My scanner's not doing super great. I need to take it back to the shop because that was a 7 to hit with my guiding bolt scanner.
And it looks like he's just scoured off a chunk of the surface of the asteroid for no good reason whatsoever, wasting a turn. Yeah. Anything else the good doctor can muster for us this round?
Yep, that's it. And I just remembered my gear.
Oh, well, in that case, it's Ava.
I say it's okay, Shep. These Band-Aids came in clutch. And I'm going to, I think Apricot and I are going to once again move in on this guy. We solemnly pause just for a second by the corpse of Rodney before continuing on back up to our friend because he's not getting away so easily. And I'm going to... unarmed strike, which is what I do best. 14. That does not hit, if I remember correctly.
You do indeed remember correctly. It is 1 off.
All right, but I'm going to try one more while I'm there as a bonus action. And that one is also going to miss. Oh my god, I shouldn't have...
How unfortunate.
You know what? I got a little teary-eyed when I passed the corpse of Rodney.
You should have done that.
And I couldn't... I know, but I had to pay my respects, so press F in the chat. And, yeah, just my vision. Not so great.
Delightful. Well, that's a real shame for Ava there, but let's see what Apricot can muster.
All right, Apricot. It's all you, girl.
I would love if Apricot was the one that...
Crit.
No, it's a 17 to hit.
Well, it hits.
Looks like it'll do it.
All right, Apricot. That's going to be 4 damage.
4 damage is damage indeed, and the Oth stays standing, but looks a shadow of its former self.
All these little tiny bites add up.
Speaking of shadow, what's it doing now? And you'll actually see that light that's in the middle of it, that cocoon thing that was unsheathing a moment ago, and before it sprayed the poison gas. That cocoon thing actually peels itself back completely, and you see now what looks like a kind of a dark void that's somehow staying together. It almost looks gaseous, and it's just like this dark smoke-looking void substance, and in the middle is that glowing red dot. and the red dot is going to start getting brighter and brighter and brighter, and I need both of you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
Actually, all three of you, because it is light that is causing this.
Eva rolled a 7.
Dr.
And-
Shepard too?
Yep.
Con saving throw, was it?
Con, yeah.
Apricot got a 10 and Ava got a 7.
And I, of course, got a 12.
All right, so all three of you failed as this light gets brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter, and you are all temporarily blinded, having disadvantage until this situation changes. It is very, very, very hard to see as this thing is just emanating this extremely bright light, and through your blindness, you will hear the whoosh of one of its tentacles sliding or just kind of flinging through the air, and we will see if that hits. Unnatural 20.
My goodness, the off is on fire, not
As-
literally.
8 damage comes and it hits Ava. So you're
Okay.
and then you just get whacked with one of these gelatinous tentacles,
The indignity.
and that will end its turn. So you have disadvantage on all attacks against the source. All attacks, I guess, that use vision. If you can come up with something that doesn't use vision.
Well, that's fine, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold out my staff, and from my staff, shoot one of my magic missiles through my spell coil. Yeah, I completely forgot about this, so that's
Probably would have
cool.
been helpful earlier.
Yeah, it would have been really helpful to save a couple spell slots and have an insta-hit from my staff as I shoot this beam at it for... it was...
Let's see some DMGs.
Yes, I believe it was, yeah, +2. So that is just an insta... It's not a massive hit, but it's an insta hit, and that's better when I'm blinded, and I can just kind of hold it up and shoot it off at this thing.
Yeah, you just hold up that magic spell staff, and the spell coil goes, and it starts glowing, and then just shoots out these magical force beams, which hone in on this creature, regardless of the fact that you can't see shit. You're hoping that it indeed did hit your designated target as you hear them explode, but you cannot see where they actually landed.
Zip zap zorps, the off takes damage there. Still standing, still looking disgusting, but who knows how this could play out. This certainly seems like HPs are hanging in the balance here as we move to Ava once again.
All right. Ava is going to flail. She's going to punch in the direction that she thinks it's in. So I guess, okay, disadvantage. Okay, let's next one.
Oh my goodness, I'm afraid with disadvantage.
No.
That's a whiff.
Almost.
Very, very close.
I'm gonna try again with my bonus action. Okay.
Come
Come on. Did it roll?
I'm only
okay,
seeing one right now.
Okay, the second one hits.
There we
The second
go,
one makes
yes.
contact.
We have it.
I feel it out. I learned from my first mistake, and that's gonna be 7 bludgeoning damage.
Wow.
Oh my goodness, the off is not looking good at all. But it's still slithering, still wriggling, and still ready to fight. Let's see if Apricot can change that.
I would like to make an argument that because Apricot has one personality trait, and it is keen hearing and smell, that she is able to attack without disadvantage.
I agree.
All right.
Sniffing
Come on,
out.
Apricot. Sniffing him
Because
out.
Sniffy Sniff 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 is not affected by bright light.
Okay, Apricot got a 24 to hit.
That is sufficient.
Apricot,
By a
please.
margin of about 9.
Okay. All right, it's 4 piercing damage. I think her
4
jaw's
piercing
getting
damage.
tired.
Yeah, just all these
Just a
little
lot of-
bites, though.
The off seems to be trembling and bleeding and oozing some kind of noxious fluid, but is still standing. And as Rodney is dearly departed, the Oth is up next.
All right, so the Oth, which is emanating this bright light, just continues to emanate, trying to use it as some sort of defense mechanism, as it itself is admittedly getting a little bit more weak than it had expected. At first, I thought it was going to absolutely wreck these space cadets, but it turns out that the crew of Eclipse is not a crew of slouches, and they're actually pulling their weight. So it is going to still keep using most of its energy to emanate that bright aura, and instead just go for another tentacle whap.
Love that song.
I've been hearing a lot about this WAP. I had no idea it involved tentacles.
Some people are into that.
19.
So I'm given to understand.
We don't judge.
No, we do not. It
19
certainly
to
explains
hit.
the existence of Dr. Shepard. 19 to hit. I imagine does the job.
Was that for... Who's that again?
That one is going to be going at Ava.
That's gonna hit.
4 damage as you get whacked by this tentacle.
Ava gets whapped all the way into unconsciousness and is down.
Oh my
Well,
goodness.
Oh no, it's a whap.
That was quite a WAP.
Yep. Yep.
All right, you
Well.
got whapped, and we're gonna move on. We'll say it 3 more times at least, and then we move on to our next contestant.
Dr. Shepard, I'm sure you can do something about that WAP later.
Well,
but in the
maybe if I
meantime-
don't die, I guess what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the surefire thing. I know my staff can't miss, so instead of risking sending my moonbeam over and it not affecting it, I am going.
Decimating Ava's corpse.
Yeah, just burning up Apricot and Ava. I'm instead going to hold up my staff again, and I'm just like blindly. I can't see anything, and I'm just like firing off pop shots at this thing, and that's gonna be another 4.
It's still standing. My goodness. The off is still standing. Better than he ever did. Feeling like a true survivor. Well then, I guess Apricot is up next with Ava being down.
Okay.
Does Ava
All right.
make
The
a
off
save?
looks
Yeah, do I
very
need to be
bad.
making death saves right now?
I'm thinking make them. If you fail, you're unconscious and you just can't return. But if
Right.
you get lucky and you succeed, you revive with 1 HP.
If I fail, the podcast is canceled.
Yeah, it's canceled, and we will never release the first episode.
All right. Well, that sure is. Oh wait, hold on. Can I do this on? Can you roll death saves? And yes, you can. Okay, let's do it. Are you kidding? Oh, okay. Again, I can't tell the difference between a 7 and a 1. It's just regular failure. Great.
I guess that's better than a really bad failure.
Yeah. Well, you know, I've made peace with death a long time ago, so.
Nice fella.
All right. Well, we'll see what Apricot can do to the off.
Avenge me, Apricot.
Bite him really good.
Let me tell you
Apricot-
this: if she hits, I strongly suspect she's gonna finish the job.
And she does. That's going to be a 23 to hit, and.
I don't even need
Assassinate.
to see a damage roll. It has 1 hit point remaining.
Okay,
Tell me
yeah, that's
how,
8 damage.
Apricot, power word kill.
Tell me how Apricot wins the encounter for you.
Apricot falls to the ground as she is sort of half in Ava's vest, and Ava drops, and she kind of looks at her mother and is like, and then she gets pissed, and she's gonna turn to this thing and go, and with all of her might and her strongest jaw muscles, she's going to launch her furry snake body at it and just go and chomp right down.
The off is just bleeding, turning to some kind of crumpled mess. Looks like the skin from the top of a microwave pudding, and there's just simply nothing left. And it looks like our contestants, despite the odds, despite the travails and gritty situations they found themselves in, have prevailed.
Apricot's
And,
just licking it up. She loves it. It's delicious.
And it looks like we're just sending in some.
Yeah,
Yes,
key
that's
lime
right.
pie flavored.
Clancy has activated the healing aura of the arena as a reward for our competitors tonight. So it looks like Rodney has reassembled himself from his component parts, and we'll go now to the arena side to interview our gloriously, victoriously successful competitors.
I will
Ava.
say, after Apricot managed to destroy the thing and is licking up the little bit of gelatinous key lime pie residue that's left, the solid mass that was glowing hits the ground, and it's just a solid little red ball that Apricot is welcome to take home as
A nacho
the prize.
Oh, we love
souvenir.
it. We love it when spoils of war are ferret toys.
Well, then I suppose it just remains for us now to do the post-match interviews. Ava, speaking on behalf of the mighty, mighty Apricot, how was your first experience in the Modras Bloodsport Arena?
Well, on behalf of myself, while there is no shame in death, I do wish I had performed a little bit better, but I could not be prouder of Apricot. It was, despite her years and years of training, it was her first real experience in the arena, and I think despite some initial jitters, she really proved that her teeth are sharp and her nose is keen and mighty.
And when you're not in the arena, where can people find you, and how would you prefer to be addressed?
Okay, when I'm not in the arena, my name is Megan, and I am at Megan Kelleher 3. That's MEGHAN KELLEHER 3. Twitter and Instagram. I also co-host the Ice Tea podcast. That's at Ice Tea Pod on Twitter and Instagram. It is a comedy podcast about figure skating. So if you're into a completely different type of battle that's more solo and two blades against a bunch of judges, check us out there. You'll have a good time.
Beautiful. Next up, I suppose we'll move to, with the greatest of reluctance, we'll move on to Dr. Shepard. Your experience in the arena was something of a hit and miss, with the emphasis strongly on the miss there, Doctor. How would you describe your efforts?
Tools didn't do very well tonight. 2 crew members fell. Unfortunate. But
how's that Hippocratic Oath doing?
It's that and HIPAA are not high on my priorities list.
You did some harm.
Some harm, some heals.
You know, Doctor, I gotta ask, how's it feel to have the shortest tentacles in the battle arena tonight?
Well, I tuck most in, so...
If Drag Race has taught me anything, it's that tucking is important.
You need a good tuck. Yeah.
All right, well, let's go on to Rodney. Thank you, Rodney. Let's go ahead and move on to Apricot.
Rodney's just like, I went to the light.
Shepard
I saw
has
it.
fixed Rodney if it's been at least a minute. I've gathered the shrapnel.
I thought
Yes,
Rodney got magically healed by the arena.
He did.
He reassembled.
I said it, so it happened.
That's how it works.
So, yes, good Doctor, when you're not in the arena, I suppose most people will know, but for those that don't, introduce yourself and tell us where we can find you.
Yes, I'm Adam Dweese, and you can find me all over the Majestic Goose Network, including on the Eclipse pod, but I will let Jeremy shine some light on the Eclipse podcast coming out next week, because he is the mastermind behind it. But also coming out next week, next Monday, 1 week from today, actually, is our newest show until Thursday when Eclipse comes out, and then it can't be called the newest show anymore. It's going to be Lore and Pour, and that's going to be a Drunk History meets Dungeons & Dragons lore, where I'm the host and we have a rotating cast of guests come on. And 30 minutes prior to the show, they get their topic, and they have 30 minutes to research it, and then we treat it as if they are the absolute authority on the topic while we are both drunk. And we just chat about it for about 30 to 45 minutes, and it's been a lot of fun so far. We've got 4 episodes up on our Patreon, patreon.com/majesticgoose. So tune in there, and for $1, you can get access to all 4 of those. And if that's something that's not in your budget right now, which is completely understandable, next Monday that will be coming to public podcast feeds. I may release 2 episodes on the first week just to really showcase the show. or it may
Coward.
just be one and be bi-weekly. We will see. I'm still not positive. And other than that, yeah, go to majesticgoose.com. We've been upgrading the website a little bit. You can find out about Eclipse. You can find out about everybody on this show right here. You can find out about Megan, Drundu, Jeremy. All of us have our own pages on there. You can go and see what shows everybody's on, what streams, podcast. It's the best place you can go to find out about the shows. Other than maybe our Discord, where all of us hang out and chat daily. You can get a hold of us all there at pretty much any point of the day, as long as we're not asleep, except Gerundu. Gerundu does not sleep. He is in the UK, but not on the UK time. That is for dang sure.
I exist outside of conventional space-time.
That is very true. And yeah, so just go check out majesticgoose.com and Lore Report next Monday.
Well, we didn't get a chance to introduce Stubby McClap, a.k.a. Jeremy Fair, the game master for the Eclipse podcast coming up. How about you tell us a little bit about the Eclipse setting and familiarize our viewers?
So when I am not playing terribly underdeveloped characters like Stubby McClap, I am a co-host. I'm not nearly as much of a dick as Stubby McClap is either, but I am the co-host of Dice Talk. Well, maybe I'm the co-host of Dice Talk along with Gerundu, which is a conversational interview style tabletop podcast. We interview a whole bunch of cool authors and DMs and podcasters and streamers and other content creators. And not only do they get to plug their stuff and tell us about all the work they're doing, but then we discuss a topic. We've done things like loot. We've done things like focus on specific classes and races. We've done things like talk about more metagame topics like D&D communities or like writing adventures, playing adventures for beginning players, things like that. So we are all over the place. It's a lot of fun. I also play a character named Shadow on Roll for Weird, which is a Monster of the Week actual play stream and podcast that I do with Gerundu and Adam and some other folks from the Majestic Goose podcast or the Majestic Goose Network. I'm on a whole bunch of other stuff too, but the thing I really want to focus on tonight is Eclipse. So Eclipse is a sci-fi fantasy thriller. It is a D&D 5e actual play. It takes place about 120 years into the future of the current Forgotten Realms lore, and it is loosely based on some of the lore given to us by Spelljammer. It's D&D in space, so we get to go through all sorts of, really crazy encounters. It's a lot of heavy editing focus, so there's a lot of effects, and I'm going to spend a lot of time preparing the episode, so that's kind of has like a cinematic quality to it, as much as a podcast can go. But go ahead and check that out. We're aiming for a somewhat serious tone, but it is D&D, so there's still jokes and everyone's still having a good time, and you'll get a few laughs as well. The episode 0, which is it's only like 2 minutes long, but it's like gives you a little bit of the background and history of the world of Eclipse. That's actually currently live on Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, and wherever else you get your podcasts. And then 10 days from today, next Thursday, so not this Thursday, but next Thursday, episode 1 will release, and that's a full-length episode. I think it comes out to about 55 minutes. Turned out really, really good. Episode 2 is in the works, and that'll come out bi-weekly, so you can expect new episodes of Eclipse every other week. Please go subscribe, comment, interact with us on Twitter, rate and review. These things are super important for a brand new podcast, so for the next 3 weeks I'm really going to be pushing that, and I really appreciate it. And now I'm done talking.
Well, wonderful. I of course have been your usual host, part of the broadcast team here at the MBA Live, Flex Gristle. I'm usually joined by Razor McGirth, as played by Adam DeWeese. Of course, I am Gerundu. You can find me, as Jeremy said, as one half of the hosting team on Dice Talk on alternate Wednesdays. Every other Wednesday, you can find me at Jambalaya Pendergrass on Shitty Cowboys. Also on the Majestic Goose Network. Every Wednesday that the Shitty Cowboys podcast drops, we record the next episode live that Saturday. So you'll always be caught up if you want to jump into a live stream with us. What else am I in? I'm in Roll for Weird as Silas Lancaster, also on the network there. And I think that's about everything for now. Am I in any of the shows? I don't remember.
You're on a Lauren Pour coming up.
I'm on Lauren Pour coming up.
I don't know when that's going to come up. He is the leading expert on the 9 hells. That's right. I gave Gerundu 9 topics to study in 30 minutes. It was a lot of fun.
Tosser.
It's up on
Patreon. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I got really drunk. Look forward to hearing that one. But yes, thank you for joining us, everybody. I've been Flex Gristle. You've been fantastic. And see you next time. And live Monday nights for the Modras Bloodsport Arena. Take care, everybody.
Bye, buddy.